let me open with a number that most leaders overlook. Even after the weight dropped from 4 to 2 stars, CAHPS still drives about 32% of the total star ratings, which is nearly a third. That means if you let CAHPS slip, you are putting 1/3 of your entire performance foundation at risk. So when I hear folks say we don't need to focus on CAHPS as much anymore, that is concerning, and I need to stop and say that it is not just wrong, it is dangerous. Because here's the reality. CAHPS doesn't just measure satisfaction, it reflects trust. And in healthcare, trust drives retention, growth, and reputation. So today, I want to work with you leader to leader and show you why CAHPS still matters and why, if you get it right, you will gain an edge whilst others step back. Let's dive into it. CMS did not lower CAHPS weight to make it irrelevant. They lowered it to balance the equation. For years, CAHPS had an outsized role, and CMS wanted to diversify weightings across domains. But they did not take away the fact that member perception is still the heartbeat of the rating system. Remember this, CMS has changed weights before, and they will change it again, as you probably already know. In 2012, they doubled certain medication adherence measures, and in 2021, they increased CAHPS weight to 4, and then now they have reduced it back to 2 weights. The rules move, but the member doesn't. Members still expect the same level of respect, access, and service. Here's the catch. CAHPS is the only place in the entire star rating system where members get to grade you directly. And that is why even at weight of 2, it still dominates at 32% of the overall scores. CAHPS captures the things that members remember, not the things that we are usually obsessed over internally. Think about a member. They are not thinking about your care gap closure rate or percentage. They are thinking about, did my refill arrive on time? Did the person at the call center solve my problem, or did they bounce me around? When I visited my doctor, did I feel respected or rushed? When I visited my doctor, how long did it take for me to be seen? That is the real world lens. And when the survey goes out, those memories become your scores. A single unresolved claim dispute can become a negative response. On the other hand, a holiday check-in call from a care manager from your plan can flip into a positive one. The difference between those two is the difference between slipping below 4 stars or staying above it. Now let's run the math. Even with the wage drop, CAHPS is worth 32% of the total. Every full star you gain or lose in CAHPS changes your overall by about 0.32. A half-star swing moves your overall by 0.16. Here's a scenario I want us to look at. You are sitting at 4.05 overall, right? That is safe, right? But let's say your CAHPS composite dip half a star. Weighted, that pulls you down 0.16. Your new overall rating is 3.89. You just fell below the 4 stars. And that is not just a rating hit, it's dollars. On a $900 PMPM benchmark with 60,000 members, the 5% quality bonus for 4 stars is worth about $32 million annually. So you lose 4 stars, you lose that money, all because CAHPS slips a little. Now flip the scenario around. Let's say you're sitting at 3.95 overall and you lift CAHPS by just 0.4 stars. Weighted, that would add 0.13 to your performance. Your overall is now at 4.08. You've crossed the 4-star line. That small lift just predicted tens of millions. and secured your competitive edge at open enrollment. And that is why CAHPS is still decisive, because even a small movement can shake the entire system. I've seen this play out multiple times. One plan, mid-sized, regional, they cut back on CAHPS investment after the weight dropped. They thought they could reallocate staff towards closing HEDIS gaps. And that year, their CAHPS dipped just by 0.6 stars. Their overall dropped below 4 stars, and they lost bonus dollars. They also cut supplemental benefits, and their churn rate went up. Another plan, mid-size, regional, similar market, they doubled down on member outreach, year-end campaigns, and also care manager calls. Their CAHPS rose half a star. That half star lifted their overall just enough to clear the 4-star threshold. They earned their bonus and improved retention by 6%. Two plans, similar environment, opposite outcomes. And that is the maths of CAHPS. As leaders, we need to step back. Yes, stars are technical. And yes, weightings change. But this is really about trust. Every CAHPS response is a trust signal. Do I trust my plan to be there when I need it? Do I trust my provider to listen? Do I trust the system not to lose me in the shuffle? That trust is what determines whether a member stays or whether a member will recommend you or whether you grow. CAHPS isn't a compliance exercise. It's your trust barometer, and ignoring it because the weight dropped is like ignoring a leak in the foundation because you painted the walls. Here's the upside. If other plans pull back, you gain room to differentiate. Whilst competitors slip, you hold steady. While their members disengage, yours stay loyal. So CAHPS is no longer just a measure, it's a wedge, an area where leaders who stay disciplined can also widen the gap. And that is why I say the weight dropped is not a reduction in CAHPS importance, it is an opportunity. And let's look ahead. CMS will continue to evolve stars. They may adjust the weightings again. Absolutely. They may add digital experience questions. They may evaluate equity-focused measures. But members, their expectations only rises. Nobody says my plan can take longer to respond this year because CAHPS counts less, right? That is not the reality. Members expect faster, better, and more human service every year, which means focusing on CAHPS now will future-proof your strategy. No matter what CMS does next, you'll be positioned on the one constant, which is member trust. So let's bring it back. Even after the weight cut, CAHPS is still 32% of your star ratings, nearly 1/3 of your foundation. And the math is clear. You lose a star in CAHPS, you lose 0.32 overall, right? You gain half star in CAHPS, you lift your star performance by 0.16 overall. That swing can flip your plan above or below the 4-star threshold. That swing can also cost or secure tens of millions of dollars. So the question isn't about should we still prioritize CAHPS now that the weight dropped? The question is, can we afford not to? CAHPS isn't about maths, it's about trust, it's about loyalty, it's about whether members believe you are on their side. Finish strong, lead with trust, and the result will follow.